Hello, students. So in this short lesson, we're going to go through three different new tools. One is not, maybe it's not so much a new tool, but it is a tool that we've used that we're going to use in a new way. So we're going to extrude this sketch and we're going to extrude it asymmetrically. So far we've extruded thing either in one direction or another, which would be these two icons. And we've also extruded symmetrically. So from the sketch, the same distance in either direction. Now, today we'll use asymmetric. What it allows us to do is to take the profile and extrude it in two different directions, but they don't have to be symmetric to each other. So in other words, they don't have to be the same. What it lets us do is put two different values. So for distance A, which would be the arrow pointing up, we can put in one value, which will be 10 millimeters. And for distance B, which would be the arrow pointing down, we can enter in 5 millimeters and select OK. So now that I've done that, you see I have one cylinder similar to the two existing cylinders that were already here. So I'm just going to go ahead and hide the visibility of the sketch to get it out of the way. So the next thing we'll look at is the hole feature. This feature allows you to quickly place holes, and not just any hole. You can do a simple hole, but you can also do clearance holes, tapped holes, holes without a seat, so that would be a simple hole, counterbore holes, spot face holes, and counter sunk holes. And in this case, what we're going to need to start knowing how to do is counterbore holes. So I'll take you through the steps to do that. So we want to select the face for the hole. So select the face. You can see it randomly placed the hole wherever my cursor happened to be. And Inventor wants to make holes concentric to surfaces. So if it's on a circular face, you can simply click the edge of the hole and it will center your new hole on this circular face, okay? So now I have selected a hole. It's a simple hole, but it has a counterbore. So what's a counterbore? Well, it's just a step. You have your main hole or bore, and then you have this stepped hole above it, and that's called your counterbore. And that would allow, say, a fastener, if this was a cap screw or something like that, to fit inside this bore. So the top of the part would still be flush. You wouldn't have a fastener sticking up above it. That's one of the reasons you see counterbore holes. So in this case, I will put a value for the bore of the hole or the diameter of the hole, and we'll use 15 millimeters. For the diameter of the counter bore, we can put in 20 millimeters. And you see how those values were in red until I changed the counter bore? I'll put it back how it was and say maybe a small value like 5. You see that they're both red because there's a disagreement, right? You can see that obviously this hole is a 15 millimeter diameter hole, but the information we had in there by default was saying that the diameter of the counter bore was 5 millimeters. So of course the counter bore diameter needs to be larger. And that's why you have this red indicator telling you that something's wrong. As soon as I make it a larger diameter value, the red indicator goes away and you have appropriate numbers. So I'll just, the depth of this counter bore, I'm going to change that from 2 millimeters to 5 millimeters and click OK. So now you can see if I orbit that I've created a nice counterbore hole through the part. Now on my third cylinder, you can see that it's already extruded. It's actually already counterbored. And what I wanted to show you for this cylinder is how you could change the material. By default, it uses a generic kind of non-material material, if you want to think of it that way. But you can, in Inventor, apply different materials to your parts, which is certainly handy. So the way you do that is you would go up to your main toolbar and select Tools and select this icon, Material. And then you can pick a material that you'd like to change the selected faces of the objects you've drawn to. So since we're going to be drawing a part that is cast iron, I'm going to choose that material. And what you have to do is right click and a sub menu pops up and you want to say assign to selection. So that will change the material of your part from a generic non-material to a specific material that you're using for your design. Okay, so I'm just going to zoom out, go to the home view, and that's the end of the lesson. Thanks for watching.